Hello, people, and welcome to I Say Sir. So, I hope you're enjoying what's going on in the background. Nice bit of visual entertainment. Everybody loves it. Mr. Kirioth, because time is limited, what questions do we have today?
Our first question, sir, is from Murray, and it is: do you believe the advancements in gaming graphics technology are starting to stagnate?
Well, yeah, it is. And it's because of them fucking consoles.
So I'd say I've been thinking about this, and I think it is, but there's like the odd thing, like the screenshots for GTA 5, for instance, that make it look like it's getting better. But because it's not out yet, I can't tell whether it is genuinely better than anything we've seen for quite a while, or whether it's just more devious trickery, like as what Skyrim had, which was a lot of devious trickery, but actually it wasn't visually all that impressive. There was just mist and things.
Yeah. It's like when they overuse stuff like bloom and motion blur and all that crap. Oh, look at this ambient occlusion. Oh, say. It's just crap, mate. Go away. I think the problem is you've got a situation where consoles, there's been no console, no new console. I mean, the Wii U doesn't count because, let's be honest, that's just graphically inferior. To push game development ahead, there are a lot of money in consoles, but consoles are not just the problem. Mobile gaming is like iPhones. They are a really big problem because game developers go where the money is. They're not going to sit here and produce the best looking thing you've ever seen in your life when only people with the absolute best of desktop computers at home can actually play it. No, sir. They're going to make console games because loads of people have got consoles, and they're also going to make apps, iOS games, Android games, because loads of people have got them and are willing to spend, and that's where the money is, and that's kind of a bit sad. I think when the next generation of consoles comes out, the graphics will generally get better, but I don't think they're going to be massively better. I don't think we're going to be like, oh my god, I'm blown away. This game looks insane. It's probably stuff like the what's it called? Is it the Oculus and things like that? The headset, 3D headset thing. That's probably where the next advancement is in terms of you sitting down and going, oh my god. This kind of brings me back to when we were going on about Morrowind the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, it's got pixel shaded water, good lord. That was like one of the little advancements that was awesome. It was like, oh my god, the water is amazing. Before, the water just used to be a texture that moved. Now it looked like water. Oh my god. So I don't know, Mr. Kirioth. I think that, whatever. I'll let you talk. I'm just blabbing.
So I'm wondering as well if perhaps there's been less of an emphasis on graphics since things like Minecraft. I mean, it could be that developers have looked at games like Minecraft, which is ridiculously successful, and thought, well, let's be honest, it looks like shit. It's just a bunch of cubes, that's all it is. Without the work of people doing mods and texture packs for it, it does not look very good. And yet it's one of the best selling games of all time. It's retarded how much money that's made. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not that important anymore. I mean, let's face it, if you can play...
Well, graphics don't make the game, do they? They don't make the game, but I think what you're getting at is... The reason Minecraft was so popular is because any old bag of crap computer can run it. And again, this is just opening up your potential customer base instead of... You remember the days of Crysis when that came out, and it was like, I couldn't play Crysis on my computer. It just destroyed it. It was like, what the hell? But people could play Crysis. And that was like, wow, this is like top-end graphics. I mean, if you go back and look at Crysis now, it still looks really, really good, even by today's standards, because that's perfectly highlights the point. The standards haven't really gone anywhere, because you've ended up on... There's more of a focus on things like the gameplay, UI design and stuff like that. There's more of a focus on that, not so much on super high-end graphics, because hardly anybody can really run them. I mean, if you look at PlanetSide 2, it is a good recent example. The game is graphically quite nice, but only because of certain things they use. Like, let's be honest, the thing that stands out the most with PlanetSide is the lighting system. The textures look absolutely terrible. You look like you've got a GIF on your helmet of your faction. It's like, what's this? I've got the graphics on ultra high and this is what I'm looking at. That's not right, But the lighting makes it look really good. You get like different effects going on. So I think the problem is consoles and the problem is mobile gaming. But the problem also is, and this is always really going to be the problem, whoever the baseline users are, well, that's not really the right way to describe it. Whoever the main bulk of the people are, like the possible people you can sell the game to, they generally have worse computers. And if you can produce a game which will run on their machine, World of Warcraft's another example of this. Why was that so popular? Because it would run on a brick or a potato, as Mr. Kirioth would say. So it's like I think that's a problem, and that's something which we're never really going to get away from. It's a problem, and it isn't a problem. It's a problem because you're not going to get super visuals, and it isn't a problem because you tend to get better gameplay or overall design, I think, anyway.
Yeah, with any luck, though, the newer consoles will push it forward a little bit, because once the consoles are able to handle better graphics, games will just have them because the consoles have got the majority of the market. So with any luck, when we start seeing new Xboxes, new PlayStations, whatever, things will kind of creep up just because, they're what everyone's aiming for. And if everyone can have slightly better graphics, then those of us with, decent PCs and people who crave the realistic look of games might end up getting something a bit better than what we've got now. Although, frankly, I'm not holding my hopes up too high, to be perfectly honest.
The problem is, though, that the consoles, based off some of the speculation I've seen, they're not really... They're only, they're not as powerful as my computer currently, so it's like, well, that's great. They're going to have slightly better... Well, it's going to be on par with PC visuals, I'd imagine, because of the way consoles work with the, standardised hardware and whatever. There's not a billion configurations and all driver problems and all the rest of it. But, yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much. It's not going to blow you away. I don't think it's going to blow you away. We could be proved wrong, I don't know.
We can but hope.
We can but hope. Where do we go next? Thank you for that, Murray. It was quite the question, sir. Quite the question.
The next one is from Rissle, and it is, what is your favourite video game soundtrack of all time?
Ah. Do you know what I instantly think of when I see this? Doom 2. Yeah. But that's not really... That's just one little song in the game. But... I don't know. Okay, let me answer this first. So I think Doom 2. Total Annihilation had a good soundtrack to it. Morrowind had a quality soundtrack. And for those of you who've been playing Skyrim, the Skyrim main theme is basically the altered theme of Morrowind. I forget what it's called, but you know what I mean.
Which is why it's so good, basically.
Yeah, but Morrowind's is better. That would probably be my... In fact, I'm going to rant. Because I know what everybody's going to say. Oh, Bastion is the best! Alright then.
I was waiting.
Bastion was okay.
It was okay. Yeah, I thought it was alright, but the number of people who are like, have you heard the soundtrack?
I would imagine... No, hang on. I would imagine a lot of people that say that as a result of certain videos on YouTube. And people's inability to think for themselves, so I'll just throw that out there. Oh, burns and it stings. But yeah, for me, I think it would be, you're looking at Total Annihilation, you're looking at Morrowind or the Elder Scrolls series, and you are looking at Doom 2, because that's elite.
See, mine is a lot more recent. My favourite soundtrack of all time, of any game, is the Dawn of War 2 soundtrack, which I listen to constantly, because I don't know why, but there's something about it that every time I listen to it, it actually reminds you of Warhammer 40k. Now, that might seem a bit daft considering Dawn of War 2 is a Warhammer 40k game, but it's like the music just sounds right for what it is. It's like, it's proper, it's really dramatic, it makes you want to go to war, which is exactly what it's for. I love it. I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like is the fact that on the official soundtrack, there's some dodgy remix at the end of it. That's the only part that I don't like. I don't know where that's come from. I don't know why it's on there, but it was on the official one. And it's like, why is this here? This is some guy who's just fucked with it. Leave it alone. But apart from that, the rest of it, I mean, There Is Only War, the title one that you get on the title screen, the main screen of the game.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. It's quality. It's absolutely quality.
Yeah. I was going to do a very poor rendition, but then I stopped. Because it would have been poor.
Mouth trumpet version.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's that. I'm going to listen to that after this.
Thank you, Mr. Rissle.
And the last one is from Kallenar, the tea drinking maniac. And
oh god, not Kallenar again! Not Kallenar again!
How did you come up with the names Stylosa and Kirioth? Now,
shall I go first?
Yeah.
So, one very dark day in TeamSpeak, I was having a conversation with Kirioth. To name a game character. I think it was in World of Warcraft, and we're like, well, what? I'd like to name this paladin something, so what should we name it? And I couldn't think of anything. So then I don't even know how we got to this point, but we just started shouting random words out in an absolutely dodgy Mexican accent. So basically we ended up with Stylosa, which kind of turned into a bit of Tony Montana. And then from that random noise, the word Stylosa was there, which I do believe actually means some sort of... In fact, I'll Google this right now. You'll hear my key presses. Get ready for this. I think Stylosa is a family of roses. Which sounds a bit...
Yeah, I think it's something like that, isn't it? It's a type of flower.
Yeah, it's something like that. It is a... Stylosa is Latin and comes from the word pillar, which refers to a long style species, often Rissle popa or red mangrove something. It's basically a flower.
But that wasn't the intention, was it, really? That was just...
No, because the intention was... Stylosa. That was where it came from. As retarded as that sounds, that's where it came from.
See, that's still... I still think that's slightly better than mine, though, because mine was... it was, again, not Warhammer, World of Warcraft. And when I first started playing that game, I had a rogue called Carnival. And I liked the name Carnival, but every time I went to the armory and typed it in, there were fucking hundreds of them. Like, it was like 20 pages of characters called Carnival, and I was like, well, no, I don't like this. I want a unique name. I want a name that is just mine, that no one else has. So I tried to think of something, and I couldn't think of anything. And I ended up just going to a website full of names and just looking for stuff that I like the look of. And I found Kirioth, and I was like, oh, I quite like that. Let's have a look. Put it into the armory. Nothing for the EU servers. Nothing for the American servers. It was free. No one had it. So I took it. And then I later discovered that apparently it's out of the Bible. And I think it means something like twin cities or two cities.
Good lord.
Something like that.
Good lord.
And I was like, well, it's a terrible way to get a name, but I like the name, and I kind of like the meaning of it, and it was unique at the time. Although now, some son of a bitch is going around using it in other places because they've seen me, they envy me, and they're like, oh, I want this name.
No, yeah, but you get that all the time, don't you? Like, whenever, if anything, if a game comes up, it's like, shit, register my name quick.
Yep.
Because you know Stylosa will be taken, and it's like, nobody uses the name Stylosa. You son of a bitch, you've taken
our
it.
names, fuck off, get your own.
And die. Yeah, it's terrible. But that's where the names came from. Quite strange, I suppose, and nobody would have ever have guessed that would have been the case, but indeed it is the case. Good lord. So, listen up, people. Another awesome episode of I Say So, which is our fantastical Q&A, has come to an end. If you want to give us questions and challenges to do, which you see in the background going on, then please go to the link in the description below. Click that and sign up to the forums and post away. Because... oh, that was my cup. Oh dear. But yeah, we'll read them and we'll select questions and challenges. Good lord, that's the way it happens. That is the way it happens. I haven't really got anything else to say, Mr. Kirioth. Do you have anything else you want to say? I need to take a breath.
For the love of God, give us better challenges. Give us better challenges, please.
Because I'm sick of making up our own ones.
We're not playing Super Mario 64.
We're not playing anything console related.
No, we don't have a
We don't even. I'm not even. Yeah, I'm not fucking about with emulators or any of that shit. No.
Just go onto a Steam profile. I think mine's public. Look at the games, pick a game, and say, do something in that.
Don't even have to do that. You can just look at the channel.
Just look at the channel. Yeah, look at the channel.
Look at the games on the channel. Oh, God damn it. Please, somebody help me, man.
So there's your weekly bration for the lack of decent challenges. Questions are fine, but for God's sake, challenges.
Oh yeah, the questions are good.
So there you go. You've been told.
All right then, people, we're out of here. I've talked all over him again, but we're out of here. Whatever. Goodbye.